Hi, Kevin Ledoux, the pragmatic luthier here at Ledoux Guitars. Uh, I'm going to do a series, if you will, on hand carving a guitar neck. There's a lot of ways you can do this, but I do mine with hand tools. I don't use power equipment on this, and of course, I don't use CNC equipment or anything like that. So I thought I'd go through how I do this in a series, and maybe that can give some folks out there some ideas and some helpful tips on how to carve one yourself. Now, when I do this, I start with my neck blank, um, no fingerboard attached, and I carve the heel. I did a video quite a while ago on carving a heel. You may or may not want to refer to that, but I carve my heel because if the fingerboard is on the neck when I do that, it just gets in the way. So that's done in advance, and I have refined this pretty well. It's cut the way I want it, carved the way I want it, and I'm sanded to 150 grit. There will be a little more refining and finessing, but this gets me close enough. The fingerboard is then glued down, and from there the carving begins. Now, I also rough taper my neck at the bandsaw. I take the fingerboard and I position it on the neck blank and drill registration holes for gluing it down. And I trace that, take it over to the bandsaw, and rough it down. So it's very clumsy at this point, but this is where I begin carving. So from there, the first thing I think I'd like to do is show you the tools that I use to do this. It's probably pretty obvious, but I thought I'd like to make a commentary, if I might, on some of the tools that I use and that can be used. Maybe it'll give you some information that's useful. For one thing, I do like to use this. This is a rather old Stanley spoke shave. I don't know the model number. Oh, it's a number 67 for those of you that care. This is a neat old tool. It's a lot older than I am. It's got nice Indian rosewood handles on it. It's not awfully useful, but it's kind of a pleasure to do some of the carving with this. So I have it. This was my dad's, so it's one of those things that you kind of cherish. Uh, this is a half round rasp, and this one is just about shot. The teeth on it are starting to take on a shine there that's not good. And I wish I could replace this. This is an older Nicholson rasp. It's probably, I'm going to say it's 45 years old. I've had it for all of 45 years. I wish I could replace this because this has been one of my go-to rasps for the purpose. These are still made, but I don't know where, but they're not what they used to be. The present day ones, they're clumsy junk. They're not sharp enough. They're about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Um, Here's another old favorite for refining that I really like. This is a curved tooth file. Now these are generally, I don't think, associated too much with woodwork, but these can leave you with a nice smooth finish that gives you a better opportunity to see and feel what you're doing as you're going along. They're not good at removing a lot of material in a short period of time, but very nice as a sort of between finessing tool. Um, since my rasp is about worn out, I had to get other rasps, and I will show you these because I have them. This is a set of 3 rasps that I bought. I don't remember what company I bought them from. It doesn't matter. Um, these are the Narex rasps, and the big claim to fame with any good rasp, of course, is that the teeth are hand stitched. And these are supposed to be the greatest thing since canned beer. Um, and I'll beg to differ with that any day. I bought these at a cost of around $100, a little more than that, I guess, for the set of them. And I've seen better rasps in a lot of places, and I wish I could find them again, but um, they work. They really work, but they're not, in my opinion, they're not all that great. But they come in uh, three different grades of coarseness, so I suppose that's handy. And given what's available out there these days, that's what there is to work with. I do also use Uh, this is a little half round rasp that I bought from, dare I say it, Stuart McDonald's. Might be available someplace else. I think probably they are. This is one of these little Japanese razor rasps, I think they call them. I don't remember. This thing is really cool, especially for the transition between the neck and the headpiece and around the heel area. This can be very handy. I like that. But my go-to for all of my final shaping and finessing are scrapers. I cannot carve a neck without scrapers. Very, very important. And I also use over here, pardon me for leaving the camera for a moment, I use a contour gauge, and you'll see why I use that as we progress through the series. So that's about it. Oh, one other thing that I forgot. Make your own tools again. These are just straight edges that are of appropriate length so that as I'm carving the neck, I can lay that straight edge on there and tell where I'm at. Very handy. Can't make a neck without those either. So those are the tools. One last thing is, what do I do this on? I have a jig that I do this on, and I'm going to show you that in the next clip. This device is my neck carving system. It's nothing fancy at all, and I believe you can buy something similar to these, and you can certainly make one easily enough. I got this idea way back when I was a kid from touring the Martin guitar plant, way back, in the mid 70s, around there. Presently, I have a neck clamped to the side of it, and I have a cork gasket in there so that I don't do damage to my fingerboard. And I'm going to start the process by cleaning up and starting to refine each edge of the neck. And that's where we'll begin in the next chapter of this most exciting series on carving a neck at Ledoux Guitars.